All right, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and I know Macedonian folk ain't expecting this, so but we've come on tonight. We've come on tonight to promote our Pride of the West District Association, uh, our annual session that's coming up. We're looking forward to it. We thank God for this opportunity. That's our 79th annual session that begins on May 30th and runs through June the 2nd. And I'm happy, glad tonight uh, to have with us our president of our Congress of Christian Education. Glad to have him today, Dr. Gordon. Say hello, everybody, Dr. Gordon.
All right. Blessings, grace, and peace, everybody.
All right, all right. So tonight we come on to talk about our annual session and probably way more in on our Congress of Christian Education, and we're excited about it. We're excited about it. All roads lead to Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church on those days, 2600 Clayton Street, North Las Vegas, in the 89106. Is that where we at? so we're looking forward to it. Thank you, Dr. Gordon, for taking the time. To be a part of this conversation about what we expect to see during our annual session, during our Congress in particular. All right. Let's walk down our classes, what we're offering, if you will, Dr. Gordon. One of the one of 4 or 5 classes that we have is the foundation of Christian ethics, leading from wholeness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That class, listen, let me say that I'm excited about all of these classes, brother
Mm.
moderator. These classes definitely will engage you and empower you as you are leading, not only from the ship of leadership, but also fellowship, right? Because they're empowering us as ministry leaders, but also as lay people to be able to do what God is calling us to do. And Christian ethics is where it all begins, the foundation of what we know is right and wrong, what we believe, how we follow behind our leadership, right? We know ethics being the thing between right and wrong, right? The push and the pull, the give and the take, if you will. But I have found, and I'm sure you have found as well, that a lot of people don't know the foundational principles of Christian ethics. And therefore, what we design this class to talk about is not only what is right and what is wrong, but also how to lead from a place of wholeness. One of the things that we see across our culture, one of the things we see across the board is leaders who are leading while bleeding. And what we find is, and maybe they don't talk about this enough, brother moderator, but how many leaders give up within a year's time? How many leaders quit their calling, if you will, because they're broken, they're not healed, they're not whole.
Mhm.
And so what we decided to do this year was definitely bring back that time that you get to talk about what is right, what is wrong, and how to lead in your wholeness, being fulfilled, if you will.
Yeah, and Pastor Chriswell will be teaching that class,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
and covering biblical principles, character, self awareness, faith in action, uh, relative to our professional lives and our lives in community. So we're excited about that. Then you have a class called Organizing the Church for Christian Education, Building the Transformative Strategy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another one of those great emphasis that we're going to utilize for our Congress this year is learning how to organize and structure not only the leadership and the fellowship, but organizing it in such a way that is educational and beneficial for your church, your ministry, those that are going to follow you and those that are going to be followed, right?
Mm.
Because we understand that the pastor is not the only leader in ministry. And what happens is a lot of pastors suffer from burnout because they have not taught and trained those that are coming up behind them on how to lead and how to do it from an educational understanding point of view. right? And so when we talk about leading and educating, we're also talking about what is transformative in our day, in our time, in our culture. You know, Jesus, while he was a radical for that time, he also understood how to make it transformative and engaging for those people. And so, what we want to do is that very same thing, brother moderator, as the Congress. We want to make sure that we are not just talking about the traditional things, because we don't leave that out, but we also need to talk about the things that are changing in our culture, in our community, in our world, and how we can utilize that for the sake of growth and for the sake of reaching those who are lost or who have left, let's say it that way, to
Mm-hmm.
bring them back and show them that we are now a group of people, if you will, that is ready to do more than just preach on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our youth and young adults have a class called Doing God's Work on Purpose, being led and taught by Minister Tony Marshall. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, yeah. I am overwhelmingly excited by this class personally. While we no longer fit in the age bracket, brother moderator, of youth
Speak for
or young
yourself.
adult, we no longer fit in that realm. I am excited about this because we are in a generation who lives and breathes social media. We we
Hmm.
we live in that generation, that culture. The moderator is on TikTok a little more than I am. He's been pulled into a couple of moves.
Yeah.
I see you, brother moderator. He get his groove on sometimes. But when we talk about the young people, when we talk about how we're going to utilize them and how they need to be utilized, this is a intentional class. This is a class of intentionality for them to live out God's will intentionally. We don't
Hmm.
want them to feel as if they have to do church as it's always been done,
Hmm.
because that doesn't work for them right now. But we want to utilize the tools, the tricks, the trades, right? That they utilize TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and YouTube. I was teaching Bible study last night and we were talking about being influencers,
Hmm.
right? And the next generation are the biggest group of influencers, but we want to utilize that on a godly level. We want to
Hmm.
use that on the level of, hey, listen, you don't have to post the negative things. Let's post positive things. Let's post things that are encouraging, right? That allow them to know that you can be a Christian and not be boring. You can be
Right.
Christian and not be stuck in the house. You can be
Hmm.
a Christian and still enjoy life, but we want to hone in on what that looks like as it relates to them, how they utilize it, and how God's work will turn out for their generation.
Great, 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 great. One that I'm looking forward to, not that I'm not looking forward to any of these other classes that we're offering, and it's a wide variety. It may not be 10 classes, but each class is really weighty, and
Yeah,
that's the African
yeah.
American Church and social justice, emotional and spiritual, and leadership health. Our Reverend Dr. Kelsey West will be our instructor. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, listen. Let me say this, that Reverend Dr. Kelsey West is a pioneer, if you will. He has taken the bull by the horns as it relates to politics and social justice, not only in our city here in Las Vegas, but even on a national level. I don't want to get this wrong, but I believe that he serves on the national level for social justice for the National Baptist Convention. And for him to come and be the facilitator, the instructor, the teacher for this class that means so much to the African American church is bananas, right? I know that's not an
Yeah.
educated, astute a word, but it is bananas, because Dr. West is one of those people who has sat with mayors, who has sat with assemblymen, who have sat with judges, who have sat with several people, the governor, and things of that nature, to talk about the social issues that as it relates to the black church specifically. We have to go back to the 1960s and the 1950s and talk about how the black church was the leading factor for social justice, not just in civil rights, but on several platforms and on several different occasions where the black church was the voice for their community. We've now walked into now this trajectory, if you will, where we no longer are utilizing the church because if we're being honest about it, and this is not a dig, but this is a truth, they feel that the black church has went and sat in the corner. And so we're bringing back the notion then, brother moderator, that the black church still has a voice and the black church is still available and current for us to make some noise. When we talk about social justice, we're not just talking about the lives that have been slain because of police brutality, but we're talking about how we as African Americans need to come back together and be reconnected by agreeing on what needs to change for our community. And so I'm excited because social justice, if we have never seen it before, we see it now. Our laws are being taken from us. Our rights are being taken from us. Redistricting is happening. The school system is breaking down. And the black church used to have a hand in all of that. So I'm excited to see how this class is going to go.
Yeah, we can't we can we cannot afford to be forgetful because our whole existence as African Americans in these United States has been undergirded by the existence of the African American church.
Absolutely.
From slavery to our even in this current time. I know there's a lot of criticism on the church, and for various reasons. Some are clearly founded, but we still that's the institution that we hold on to, and that we should hold on to
Absolutely.
continue to affect change. And so I'm excited about that about that class, because we still need to be and are in many ways. Some things that the church does goes unnoticed, unsaid, um, but we still should be relevant in our community, and be a voice. And Dr. West is definitely the right one to teach this class.
Can I
Uh,
throw something on top of that?
yeah,
And I
go
know
ahead.
we got to
Put
move
something on the
forward
grill.
because we don't want to hold nobody long, right?
Right.
But we're also talking about then the emotional status of the church, and
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about the spiritual part that we play as leaders in our community. Right. I remember growing up, and I'm sure you remember this as well, brother moderator, that mothers would run to the church for to get their sons right
Mm-hmm.
some help, get them focused, if you will. We would run to the church if something was happening in the community, and we didn't know who else to run to. The church was that place. And for a lot of people, while they have lost respect for the black church for various reasons, as you said, some founded, some true, and some just, they just want to have a reason. Let's be honest about the fact that the black church has always made ways for its community. Let's be honest that during the pandemic, if we forgotten, during the pandemic, it was the African American church that fed the community. It was the
Mm-hmm.
African American church that housed the community. It was the African American church that stood up during Black Lives Matter. Maybe not all of them, but we were on the front line for that. We have been in the courtrooms. We have been in the places where we've needed to be. And while some may not agree with how some churches may move, we have to agree on the fact that the black church has stood up more than people have given us credit for.
I cannot argue with that. I mean, you and I both, having grown up in Los Angeles and in Compton and those surrounding areas, I can remember when I was a younger man.
Right. You still look good. You
Some of
still look good.
these
We're gonna give you that.
some of our senior uh, Waters. I'm thinking about what they called her Auntie Maxine now.
Yeah, Auntie Max. That's
I
right.
remember she was coming through, and I had political aspirations. There was black preachers who stood with her in the early part of her career, and here we at the twilight of her career, heaven forbid. And had it not been for those African American, uh, good evening, Dr. West. Had it not been for those ministers who pushed and promoted and prayed with we wouldn't have Auntie Maxine in the Congress representing us for all of these decades. And the church is a critical piece. I'm gonna tell this one story. I told it before. I'm sorry, President. I'll throw out because
No, no, no. Go ahead,
it's
please.
relevant to this social justice piece and about the influence of African American church. You know, and when I grew up in the projects, you know, you got your county check on the 1st and the 15th,
Yeah, yeah.
and for some reason, my mother had just joined the church. For some reason, she didn't get her check, and she called our pastor, the late Reverend Billy James Ray, and said, you know, I didn't get my hey, Lady Clay, I didn't get my county check. And I remember her being on the phone, and I'm saying to myself, as I was a teenager, yeah, he can't do nothing.
That's right. That's right. We didn't know what to do.
And you know, as as God's providence would happen, my pastor got on the phone, called down to Kenneth Hahn's office. Kenneth Hahn's office called the welfare place up on Central Avenue, 108th and Central.
I know what you're talking about that.
On
I know what you're
108th and
talking about.
Central, and we got a phone call from the county office saying, Miss Pearson, come down here and pick up this check. That speaks to the kind of potent power that preachers had during that time, and I would pray that the Lord allows us to pick up that prophetic rain, and that we see that happening in our city. I mean,
Absolutely.
you more, I can say more than anybody, but you're out there, and it's we're still relevant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got ground to make up, but we're still relevant. The church is still relevant.
One
So
of those principles that we'll see, and I think Dr. West, who's joining us online here, Dr. West is one of those voices in the community that sees it from all angles. And what I like about Dr. West when he teaches and he presents a lot of the classes that I've had the pleasure of sitting in on is he asks the hard questions. Right? Because we have to be honest, there are some places where we need to ask those hard questions when it comes to social justice, right? What part did you play? What part didn't you play? Why didn't we see you, right? Because we can't ask for galvanizing of the people and then you're MIA, but then you complain at the same time. And
Right.
so I'm excited for this class more than anything because it's going to present all of those factors for us as we move forward.
Finally, our fifth class is titled Christianity and Contemporary Issues, Clarifying Vision, Call, and Purpose. Reverend Vincent Jordan, because I made a mistake earlier. Reverend Vincent Jordan, well, he knows why we're laughing. We'll be teaching that class. You want to speak to that class?
Yeah, I think this class, as we see it, segues from the previous class as it relates to social justice, right? Because when we talk about contemporary issues and we talk about how we are affected by the laws that are being made, when we talk about the redistricting that is being pushed forward, when we talk about the voting rights that are being blatantly stolen from us as a people, we need to talk about those issues. And again, the Black church was where we were able to voice those concerns and voice those opinions and voice how we could make things change, work on our behalf. And so when we talk about contemporary issues, we're not just talking about voting rights. We're not just talking about redistricting. We're talking about several different things that happen with us, for us, and most of the time that happen against us. And we need to be able to have a seat at the table. But when we have a seat at the table, brother moderator, we need to know what we're bringing to the table. We need to know what we're going to say. We need to know how it's going to be presented. But we also need to know how to say it in a way that does not cause us to have our good evil spoken of. Right? When we talk about how Dr. Martin Luther King would present a nonviolent component to civil rights. When we talk about how several different leaders brought nonviolence to the forefront, but still bringing up the issue, we need to learn how to do that, because every issue is not a violence issue, if you will, right? Because you and I grew up in Watts, we know about the fires and the Watts riots that happened. It
Mhm.
burned our community to the ground, and we're still trying to recoup from those issues. So now we have to learn how to take those issues, present them in such a way that they'll listen to us, not turn us away, right?
Mhm.
And we have to do it from the stance of a believer, right?
Right.
Jesus says what? The Bible says what? Excuse me. He says, "Be angry, but sin not."
Mhm.
Meaning that you can feel some kind of way about the issue, but there is a way to present your frustration about the issue. So I think that this class and this specific notion is going to help us as we lead the people.
I think the focus areas of that class, Christianity and Contemporary Issues, Clarifying Vision, Call, and Purpose, are to look at contemporary issues that you just spoke to, biblical and theological reflection, vision, call, and purpose. Vision, call, and purpose. A lot of times, as I've been doing this for a minute, but sometimes our young adults, even seasoned Christians, kind of lose their way, their
Yeah,
place, their relevance in the church. So that's important. Vision, call, and purpose. And then lastly, the last point of focus in that Christianity Contemporary Issues class is faith-driven leadership,
yeah,
and I'm looking forward to that.
yeah,
Again, we're excited about our annual session that's going on, that's getting ready to come in a few days. Excited about it. Looking forward to folks coming out, being a part of it, take advantage of these classes that are being offered. Hey,
yeah,
Jay Spate, what's going on, man? Um, take advantage of those classes being offered. Again, I want to say this. Um, the Congress and the district needs resources and funds to function, but I don't want that to be a reason why you don't take advantage of this opportunity to come together, get some
absolutely.
training, get some teaching, and get some fellowship. If your church is not a member, don't say, "Well, hey, my church is not a member." That's not an excuse for me. This is the heart, my heart. These doors are open. It's 2600 Clayton Street. Clay on Clayton. Come on down and be a part of our Congress of
Absolutely.
Christian Education with these wonderful classes that are being held starting on that Saturday, and then at nightly starting on an afternoon on that Sunday. We're having a communion service. Pastors throughout the city will be there, and along with our deacons and our other officers serving communion and in fellowship. And then Monday and Tuesday morning, we'll have our Congress. In the evening, we'll have our session. That last night, that Tuesday night, is moderator's night. I don't know who that fella is, but it's his night. All right. So we want
Yeah,
to.
I heard he's a great guy.
Yeah, you
I
heard
heard he's a great guy. Great guy. Listen, the guy is well educated, well versed. You all need to come out.
Yeah.
If I need y'all to come out,
Right.
hear this guy. He's our moderator. He does a great job. Fabulous leader. I promise you, he is.
Yeah.
He
And
just so
very
happens
tall.
to
He's
be
a
the
very
pastor
tall
of
fella.
Macedonia. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Again, thank you, Brother President. Thank you for
Absolutely.
taking this time to speak to our Congress that's coming up. We're excited about it. Looking forward to it. I'm gonna stick that flyer back up so everybody can see it. It is the Pride of the West District Baptist Association's 79th annual session, 79 years strong. Our Congress is meeting May 30th and June 1st and 2nd. Our annual session begins on that 31st with a communion service, and we're meeting nightly. Um, May 31st, June 1st and 2nd. Tuesday night is moderators night. Come on out and be a part of our 79th annual session. I'm honored um, to be serving in the capacity as
You got a
as
fan on Facebook, Doc. I don't know
I
who
got
she is, but you got a
who
fan
that
on
is.
Facebook. You got a fan on Facebook there.
That may be. Let me see if I can put her comment up.
That's
She might
you got
be
a fan on
she might be
Facebook.
slightly biased.
I think so.
She might be slightly biased. Lady Clay said the moderator is the best. Okay, Lady Clay. The late Dr. D.D. Livingston used to say, it's a poor dog that won't bark out his own head.
Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely, absolutely,
All right,
absolutely.
all right. So thank y'all again, everybody that's on tonight. We look forward to you. Oh, Lady Clay wants us to know. Let me get the comment back up here. That tomorrow is the rehearsal. Tomorrow, and that's gonna be at Macedonia tomorrow. I don't know what 1 mean. 1 o'clock p.m. I think she's saying 1 p.m. tomorrow. My week been so busy, I forget that tomorrow is Saturday. Uh, you know what I'm talking about, brother educator.
Listen.
So tomorrow, district choir members, you out there know that we're rehearsing tomorrow. District choir members know that we're rehearsing tomorrow. All right, all right. Lady Clay, we got a fellow on here to play drums. He want to know that if you need a drummer, he's available.
I like that. I like
Shout out to Jay
volunteerism.
Spade. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I need it to be Saturday. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jay. I need it to be. I need it to be.
I like volunteerism, though, brother moderator.
Yeah.
I like volunteerism.
Yeah. Again, we're looking forward to everybody coming out and being a part of it. And thank you for your time and your indulgence. Everybody be blessed. We will see you on.
Go register. Go register.
Yeah, go online.
Right
go
now.
Register.
Right
that
now.
Website
go
is
register.
POTWDA. The acronyms for Pride of the West District Association.org. POTWDA.org. Okay, Lady Clay says she meant to say. See, she messed up too. she thought tomorrow was Saturday.
Yeah, see, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. School is about to be out. That's where we at.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with volunteering, Jay Spade.
Yeah. But don't forget, we need them to register. We need y'all to register. We want to make sure that we have an accurate account for everybody that's going to be there.
Right.
If you don't register, you can still show up. I want to make sure that they hear us, brother moderator, that if you don't register, we want you to. But if you don't register, still show up. We want you there. We want your body in those seats. I promise you, this is something you don't want to miss.
Yes. Don't let the registration be a thing. But do go online. That'll help us to prepare for the number of students that may be coming per class. So even if you don't have the registration amount or your church does not have it, please come out anyway. That's go to our website, POTWDA.org. The acronyms for Pride of the West District Association. All right. Everybody be blessed.